It's the Lunch Show with Chad Summers. Fasten your seatbelts for the greatest radio show in the world, ever. And now, the host of the Lunch Show, Chad Summers.
All right. Welcome to the Lunch Show. Thank you for joining us. My name's Chad. I'll be your host today. Today's January 3rd, 2025, also known as the first episode of the year. So, hope y'all had a good 24, and I hope 25 is even better for you. I really do. Let's jump into the birthdays. Mel Gibson, 68. Eli Manning, 43. Michael Schumacher, 55. He was a race car driver, may still do it. I think he pretty much dominated IndyCar. John Paul Jones, he's the Led Zeppelin member that no one remembers. He's the bass player. Poor bass players. Also on this day in history, 2004, NASA landed its rover Spirit on Mars. Wow. That was 20 years ago they were doing that stuff. Pretty good. 1977, Apple was incorporated by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. Probably could have called the business Steve. 1959, Alaska became the 49th U.S. state. I believe Hawaii was the 50th. All right, let's jump into the news, shall we, folks? Nothing breaking. Here's one from Newsmax. Speaker Johnson says, "We're going to get it done." So, he gets voted in or out today, I believe. So we'll see what happens there. Go to Newsmax if you want to read up on that. Another one from Newsmax. This is a two-part story here. So this first part, Newsmax, Surgeon General calls for cancer warning on alcohol. Okay, so over time you just pick up on stuff like all these people getting this certain cancer and they were drinking, so they're like, all right, it's obvious. So I think it's okay to stick a warning on bottles. They did it to cigarettes and it didn't harm the tobacco companies, I don't believe. I guess, well, maybe it did because smoking's at an all-time low, but they're still in business, raking in the dough. And then later I was on Reuters and they had breaking news there actually. And shares in European drinks group skid after your U.S. Surgeon General calls for cancer warning. So there everyone's pulling, dumping their stock, I guess, in some of these alcohol companies. Just, it's got nothing to do with slapping a label on it. It's just because they're, announcing that it causes cancer, and that's not good for business. So, yeah, moving on here. TMZ, Catwoman, Jocelyn Wildenstein, dead at 84. She is like a New York, like a socialite in Manhattan, I guess, whatever, wherever everybody goes in New York City. But she started, she just got carried away with plastic surgery and ended up looking actually kind of like a cat. Yeah, so you can see where they got that. But 84, she died of chemical poisoning. No, I don't. That's not true. I don't know how she died. Newsmax, U.S. blocks Nippon Steel's bid to purchase U.S. Steel. So, yeah, we can't really, how can we be the best, most dominant country in the world? And the world really needs us to be the most powerful, seriously. But how can we do that if we can't even make steel? We're screwed. So we have to keep some steel companies here. And actually, that was a Biden ruled on that today or whatever, made an executive decision, I guess. But yeah, I think Trump would have done the same thing. So I think those two agree on that. It would be a national security risk to sell off U.S. steel to Japan. Nippon. I guess it's Nippon. I don't know. Nippon. But that is a Japanese company, and yeah, not gonna sell it to you, bro. All right, CNN. 166 million year old dinosaur tracks found in the UK. So that's pretty cool. They said you should see these tracks. I mean, it's not just like one or two footprints. They've cleaned it all up, and it goes for quite a ways, like maybe 100 yards or something, you know. But there's a bunch of tracks, just like something was walking there just a couple days ago. But yeah, and they were saying that these tracks were 100 million years older than T-Rex. Now, how do they? I don't know. I guess they know, but I'm skeptical on that statistic there. Uh, Apparently, they found these tracks in a limestone quarry, and one of the operators out there, the machine operators, apparently saw something that looked interesting. And there was actually a history of dinosaur tracks out in that area, so I guess they, would keep their eyes peeled for that stuff. But yeah, that is pretty cool. That could have been in the good news, but we've got another good news, even better news. Here's one from TMZ. We've been talking about what the latest is on Menendez brothers. Here we go. Menendez brothers family meeting with LA District Attorney Nathan Hochman to ask for reduced sentence. So I guess 20 of their family members of their deceased parents, are coming to plead with the district attorney. So we'll see how that goes. That meeting happens today, I believe. But folks, that leaves us with one more story. It's good news. It is. It always is here at the lunch show. Like to end the show off in a good note. So before I do that, I just want to say, subscribe to the show, click notifications, whatever you got to do to support it, and listen in on a regular basis, because we need all of you. You can't have a show unless you have listeners, right? So you're just as important, if not more important. All right, here's one from Good News. Oh, wait. No, you can email me at chad@thelunchshow.com. Let me know what you think and leave comments in the comments. So, yeah, here's one from Good News Network. Neglected beagle from 4-foot chain enjoys first cozy Christmas thanks to anonymous caller. This is what I was talking about just in the last episode. Report your neighbors if they're abusing their pets, please. And that's exact. And these people they stayed anonymous. They didn't even have to tell them their names or anything. So some neighbor or whatever called. This dog was on a 4-foot chain, had no doghouse or shelter or anything, had no water, and was just out there, just ribs almost dead, to be honest with you. If you look at the pictures, go to Good News Network and check the pictures out and read the story. But there were a couple PETA people in town, and the Humane Society asked them to go out and check it out. And it turns out they went up to the door and said, "Look, you can sign this dog over to us right now. Sign this form right here, or the police are going to be coming, and you'll probably be arrested, taken to jail, and charged with animal abuse." So they signed the dog over, and I believe the two PETA members that picked the dog up kept the dog, and it's filled out now. You got to see the pictures. So that is great news. I know someone personally that did something similar to that, and it's unbelievable. But so yeah, remember that. Report your sick neighbors, and you don't have to say who you are. Just remain anonymous, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. I'm going to call it the day. Don't be out drinking and driving this weekend. It's never good. And listen to next week's episode. And until then, keep pressing on in your life, Peace out.
All right, folks, that's it for the lunch show today. Don't forget to come back every Tuesday and Friday for new episodes. And don't forget to like, share, tweet, subscribe, friend, listen, email, and tell your friends and family about us. We need every single one of y'all. Thank you in advance for your support, and I hope you all have an awesome day.
You just listened to The Lunch Show.